All right, here we are again. I don't know if you can hear the wind chimes that are going on my porch right now. That's lovely. All right, so yeah, the topic of today's video is people will believe whatever they need to believe, and sometimes even if they have to ignore the overwhelming body of convincing evidence, right? People are going to believe whatever they want to believe, whatever they need to believe at the time, even if they have to ignore an overwhelming body of evidence. Why did I have to say that twice? Because the cognitive dissonance is real and it is a buster. It most certainly is. I talked about that in some of my other videos, how that cognitive dissonance, it just sucks because here you are going through your life operating under a certain particular set of beliefs, and then you run into information that totally contradicts those beliefs. Now, what does your brain do? I can tell you what it does because mine has done this several times in the past year and a half. It does this. And then you have to live like that for a while until you can calm your ass down and figure out why. I did that last year. I did that with the meat. There was an overwhelming body of evidence out there on YouTube that I was discovering and applying and getting results. The more results I got, the more my brain wigged out. Just like we were talking about the last time. Because I'm getting a body of evidence that 100% contradicts the body of evidence that I'm supposed to believe that has been given to me by this thing called mainstream science. And that mainstream science will not, well, they're getting closer, but they're not really interested in validating the healing powers of fatty red meat. Because if they did, wow. Like, our whole economy will just get a reshuffle, and nobody wants to do that. They want to keep the old paradigm alive, and it's on its last breath. It just has to be. We're fucking falling apart down here, and we got to do something about it. All right. Why? Why will people refuse to believe? Sorry, my eyes are itchy today. Why will people refuse to believe the evidence right in front of them? Why do we do that? To feel safe? To feel accepted? To feel valued? To feel included? Because God forbid, if I change the way I believe on anything, I might get kicked out of the club of the other people who have that same belief, and that's all I know. I only know this one way of life. I only know this one way of being. I only understand this one culture. And all of a sudden, I'm getting kicked out of it. Kicked out of breathing. Kicked out of eating. Kicked out of sleeping. Emotions all over the place. I mean, it got insane for a while. Cognitive dissonance. Like, you eventually get to the point, this is what happened to me. I eventually got to the point where I had to actually make a cognitive decision. Am I going to stuff myself back into that little trap from whence I recently emerged? Am I going to squeeze myself back into that little itty bitty place and spend the majority of my energy staying in that confining life space? Or am I going to just say, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to speak my truth, whatever that is, regardless of whether anybody believes me. And you know what? That, my friends, is where we begin. We have to start with we have to start with where we are. People are going to believe me or not believe me based on their preconceived ideas. It's got nothing to do with me. I'm just bop into their experience, tell a crazy story, watch their heads explode. Now, I don't want their heads to explode. That's not the reason that I'm telling the story. I'm just sharing a lived experience, right? and like no one really has the right to come to me and say, hey, girl, your lived experience is fucktarded. Yeah, your lived experience is, it's not adding up with mine. And because your lived experience isn't matching up with my lived experience, your lived experience has to be wrong. Your lived experience has to be negated. Your lived experience is bothering my ability to feel safe in the experience that I'm living right now. So, bitch, you gotta go. Okay? You gotta go. These things you're telling me are bothering me. They're getting me really upset because they fly in the face of everything I've been taught about food. There we go. So, what's the story? Morning glory. And why is my throat so throaty? Allergy season, mold, and just, life. Okay, here we go. So, I did not say that I ran into a Bigfoot on the trails at night, lost in the woods. I didn't say that, okay? I did not say that. All I said was, I described what I smelled. I described what I felt. I described what I heard. That's all I did. I made no judgment. I just told a story. That's all. So what's the story? The story is, so it's my birthday, right? And yeah, that was my birthday. I'm driving up into the mountains, and it's most of the day drive, so I'm busy. And I'm chilling, and I got an audio book on, and everything's fine until the audio book kind of, ended. And I was driving, and I didn't really have a place to pull over, and I didn't really feel like pulling over. So I just decided to drive in a little bit of silence and daydream, because, daydreaming is where it's at, baby. Daydream. Constantly, way too much, actually. Should do something with some of those daydreams someday, which is why this camera's rolling right now. So I'm daydreaming. I'm thinking, I start seeing, this cutout on the side of someone's house, and another sign, like Bigfoot, Bigfoot, Bigfoot. Oh yeah, Bigfoot country. I keep driving. Like, oh yeah, I'm really in Bigfoot country. Keep going. I'm like, hang on a minute. We're going into Bigfoot country. Place I'm going to, I've been to before. I remember vaguely some stories, but I really didn't pay too much attention at the time. So, wonder, what are the chances of encountering a Bigfoot where I'm going? No sooner did I have that thought, there comes Jordan Peterson. There's his words like banging in my left ear. Well, pretty darn good, I'd say. You're going to Bigfoot country, and it's probably Bigfoot country for a reason, so pretty darn good, I'd say. And I'm like, hey, yeah, pretty darn good, I'd say. All right, yeah. Okay, there's one big problem with this. I'm a ninny. I'm just a ninny. I'm not gonna put myself in a place where I'm actually going to be able to see a Bigfoot. Or not see, but, like run into, like have an interaction. There's so many ways to interact. All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna go in the middle of the woods at night, and, in the daytime, it just probably might not happen. And, girl, you're crazy. All right, well, just let it go. Don't think about it. No worries. Maybe, but, it's not optimal. Okay. So I get there in plenty of time to cross the river, unload, relax, have some food. And then the kids are like, hey, come to the other side of the island with us and see our tent and hang out at our camp. And I'm like, okay. I forgot to bring my flashlight because I didn't pack really well because I was like not feeling good, sad and stuff. So all I have was my cell phone. I hung out at the camp. We had a good time, roasted some marshmallows, made a fire, just really kind of enjoyed a little bit of time together with my family members. And then it's like, oh, you know what? It's time for me to go back. All right, easy peasy, go back the way I came. Not that hard, only a few turns. No big deal, right? No big deal. How hard can it be? I'm not afraid of walking in these woods in the middle of the night because I'm on an island. Like, technically, theoretically, you can't really get lost. Well, I can get lost in a paper bag, but you know what I'm saying. You know, your life's not gonna be in danger. Either the people on this side or the people on this side. Someone's gonna be like, "Where's Holly? We need to go find her." I knew I was safe. I knew I was safe. So I wasn't afraid. I just had like, oh, shit. I gotta walk back in the night. Oh, I got this. I got this. No problem. I missed a turn. Because, you know, walking in the middle of the night with a flashlight from your cell phone camera that gives you like maybe 3 to 4 feet in front of you. That's it. You're lucky, if that. Everything's ethereal and like kind of weird because it's night and it's pitch black and there are no other lights. I'm walking, I'm thinking, I should be here soon. You know, it's only like a 10-minute walk or something. And like, feels like longer. Feels a lot longer. Uh-oh. All right. And then I run into something that I've never seen before, particular structure on the property. I'm like, uh-oh. I'm in trouble now. I look down at my phone. I got 1 bar of service. One whole bar. 1. Like, oh, shit. This is never... All right, so like, all right, it's a long shot. I'll take it. We connect. We get a perfect connection. It was amazing. Stayed on the phone with my daughter and my son-in-law all the way back to the main camp. Beautiful. Uneventful. Oh, I wish. All right, so I'm trying to explain where I'm at. I'm getting directions based on landmarks that I can barely see. So I get this one direction. There's like 4 different trails to choose from. And of course I picked the wrong one, end up going around in a circle. I'm like, hey, it feels like I'm going around in a circle. Oh, it'll feel like that. No problem. You're going in the right direction. You're good. I look up. Oh, shit. I'm looking at the same structure that I just left. I'm like, yeah, I'm back at the same place I started. I'm like, oh no, I'm getting that movie feeling. That's not what I want to be doing. I should be snuggled up by the fire, like, you know, eating a meat stick, roasting a hot dog. Like, this is not the way I need to be spending my birthday night. Okay, try again, get on the correct path. I know I'm going the correct way. All right, just stay on the phone with me, please, because, you know, grandma's in the middle of the woods at night by herself, which I want to know who set this shit up, who thought it was a really good idea to put grandma in the middle of the woods by herself at night with a flashlight that barely lights anything. Oh, you don't have to answer that. I know the answer to that question. It was a setup. Why? Because it's the only way Holly is going to get her sorry, saggy ass into the woods in the middle of the night alone to meet Bigfoot, right? So, yeah, setup. So I'm walking along. Cue the spooky mist. I shit you not. Cue the spooky mist. Because if you're going to have a good story, you got to have spooky mist. And I'm like, oh shit, there's spooky mist. I'm like, oh fuck, spooky mist. All right, don't wig out. Now, my anxiety has not been the way it had been prior to eating carnivore. So I'm actually using my rational mind and I'm analyzing myself at the same time. And I'm seeing that I'm really not that anxious and I'm breathing and I'm walking and I got a nice pace and I have my loved ones on the line to keep the heebie-jeebies away. So I've got 0 heebie-jeebies. Feeling good. Until all of a sudden, there's a smell. It's coming from over there. And it comes like this. And I was like, skunk? That's not skunk weed. That's not skunk. Well, skunk-ish. It's not those two things, all right? Because remember, chemical sensitivities and, you know, mold, allergies. My nose always knows. Don't you ever tell me my nose don't know. My nose knows. Like, okay, skunk but not skunk. Dirty dog but not dirty dog. I don't hear a sound. I'm just smelling smell. And the smell's moving. It's wafting. Okay? I'm like, oh, baby, that smell. So I pick up my pace and I'm walking just a little bit faster because who wants to be in that smell? Trying to not breathe through my nose and not breathe through my mouth. Like, I do not want to take in a great big dose of whatever this is because it was a little on the gross side, but not as gross as like something rotting. It did not smell like death or decay, but very earthy and very wild. And it moved. Okay. All right. I was like, oh, fuck. So I said out loud, even though I'm on the phone, I'm just going back to camp. I got lost. I'm just going back to the camp. I'm going this way, back to the camp. My daughter's like, you okay, Mom? I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm fine. Who are you talking to? Nope, just myself. Give myself a pep talk. No longer to heebie-jeebies in the woods at night. Right. Okay. All right, cool. Good. Smell's gone. I'm in the clear. A few more minutes of walking. We're good. We're not good. All of a sudden, very slowly, very quietly, creeping in, I feel this, I call it a sensation that started, again, same place as the smell. It started back there and it came this way up to me, but it never passed my shoulder blade. And then it went behind me and it fanned out like this. So if you think of like a half circle behind me. And so it was so weird. It was like I could feel the line of demarcation where this energy just stopped. And I was like, whoa. And I could feel it fanning out behind me, almost like a push. Now, I'm not picking up my pace at this point. I'm like, oh, no, we are not playing this game. I am not going down in flames. I am not running out of these woods crazy like a banshee. No. I'm not going to do it. I just refuse. I'm like, hold on. Let's just feel into this. Like, oh, it's getting stronger. Huh. It gets to that point. Yeah. That uncomfortable point where it's like, if you go any further, it's gonna really be torture. And I said to myself, to her, telepathic communication, I guess, call it whatever you want. I thought it, because I'm not going to say this out loud, because I'm still on the phone with my loved ones, because, like, I'm not getting off the phone with them until I'm getting off the phone with them, and it ain't this red hot second. So I was like, so I said inside my head, I said, thank you. I acknowledge your presence. I'm glad you're here. I'm very pleased to meet you. I feel you. And that's about as much as I can take right now. I hope to be able to talk with you again sometime. I'll see you tomorrow, maybe. And I felt that energy go and just recede. I was like, whoa, wow. And then my loved one says, why don't you shout out, see how close you are? So I did. I was close. I said goodbye. I hung up. I got back to the camp. 2 women back at the camp. And the one property owner, I described everything. I'm like, oh my God, I got to tell you what happened to me on my way back when I got lost. And as I told the story that I just told you, she said, and I quote, oh yeah, yep, yes, yep, yep, yes, yes, I've been on those trails at night and everything you said is true. Oh dear. Phew. All right, so I got the validation that I needed from a really good source. So I really don't care if anybody out there in the rest of the world believes me or not. It's my lived experience, right? So everybody goes to bed finally, and just hanging out by the fire. Like, I'm just going to sit here and Talk to the fire until it starts talking back. Well, fire didn't start talking back, but the field did. And it sounded like almost like somebody was talking to themselves or praying. And it was just a guttural kind of speaking, the almost like the way you would talk to yourself in a mirror or put a child down to sleep or something like that. The voice didn't seem like it had the intent, kitty cat sounds, to carry, but it was definitely a vocalization. I was like, that's fucking cool. That's just really cool. The next afternoon, everybody went kayaking and Grandma stayed back to just hang out, have some alone time. I looked back behind the cabin into the field and I was like, are you there? Feel like I got a heart smile back. Oh yeah, I felt her. She's there. And when I was reflecting upon this story before telling it, I was like, oh yeah, just feeling that energy all over again. So according to the lore, because, you know, I love Bigfoot stories. They're just so much fun. And I believe every word of them. I sure do. I'm sure maybe not all of them are true, but enough of them. I believe them. I believe them. Yeah. So what the fuck does this have to do with the eating of the red meat? Well, people are going to attack you because they have to defend their constructed reality. That's the only reason they're attacking you. You can't take it personally. They're not attacking you at the core level. At the core level, they're defending themselves. And there's a big, big difference between me attacking you for being you and me defending me for being me. And that's all everybody's doing. And that's all they are doing. They are protecting their right to believe what they need to believe. And they are defending those beliefs instead of defending themselves. Oh, to defend a belief instead of defending oneself? Is that what we're doing? Is that really what we're doing? We're just living our lives defending sets of beliefs. Are we stupid or are we extra fucking stupid? If you're going to defend something, why would you defend a belief? Why not defend something more important? Something a little more useful than a belief. Maybe defend your right to be a human being on planet Earth. Maybe the right to live free, to think free, to be free, free in mind, free in choices, free in bodily autonomy. I don't know. People will believe you or not based on their lived experiences and preconceived ideas. So yeah, I believe me. I was fucking there. I smelled what I smelled. I heard what I heard. I sensed what I sensed. I ate what I ate. I ate fatty red meat. And everything in my body is getting stronger. And here we are over a year later, and I'm not going to stop. Why? Why? So why should I worry about what other people think, whether they think I'm lying or telling the truth on any topic? And the reason I'm putting this all together, this is for you, Marilyn, and this is for you, Amanda. Marilyn from Carnivore Odyssey and Amanda from Carnivorous Me. Both women who just got eviscerated by trolls and others for God knows what reason. I'm not aware of the details, but I am aware of the emotional damage, and that pisses me off. These two women who are doing absolutely nothing other than being a beacon of inspiration for others, way showers, trailblazers, path lighters. Now your experience is going to be unique to yourself, but these women have been getting lip because they're getting results. and people have just been nasty. So why am I telling you this Bigfoot story? Because you can come after me. You can tell me I'm lying. You can tell me I'm full of shit. You can tell me I'm making it up. And I don't care. You can attack my character. You can bring me down to base level. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Because it's my motherfucking lived experience. Mine. Mine. And yours is yours. So don't you let anybody tell you that you're doing you wrongly. Only you can tell you that you're doing you the wrong way, or that you're believing the wrong thing. And like beliefs, there's gazillions of them. There's so many different beliefs. And I'm starting to realize, being here at level 5.9, how many years of my life that I have wasted worrying about what other people think. Trying to stuff myself into this little box after that little box. I'll tell you what, it's exhausting. So I tell you this story because I think it is the perfect illustration upon which we can lay a template for anything else. It doesn't matter how rational it is. It doesn't matter how irrational it sounds. People will believe whatever they want to believe, whatever they are able to believe, whatever they can believe. And some beliefs, some of us just aren't going to be able to get to yet. All right? Whatever that belief is. So one of the things we used to do in teaching, they do this thing in seminars. I used to believe ... but now I believe ... because ... How did your thinking change because of the learning that you've just been put through? That's an excellent reflective question. I used to believe, and then I had an experience, and now I believe because. Where I list my evidence. I forgot about that. Now, what are the whys? What are the whys? Got to dig into that, and I will leave that for another time. I'll leave you with mainstream science does not want to validate the king of the jungle, the one who lives in the woods, the wood booger, the Sasquatch, the Yeti, Bigfoot. There's evidence. There's anecdotal evidence. There's personal experience evidence. Oh my gosh, there's so many Bigfoot stories. That's why I don't mind telling this one. I mean, as far as Bigfoot stories go, it's not even that interesting. Mainstream science will not validate the eating of red meat. Mainstream science will not validate the eating of red meat. Mainstream society is not going to validate you for eating the way you do. And your family might not validate you, but you know what? I'm validating you. I'm validating you, and I'm giving you a great big hug. And I'm saying, honey, whatever you're doing, don't let yourself be gaslit into thinking that what you see, what you smell, what you hear, what you taste, what you know, and what you feel with your spidey senses, because you got to get those involved too. Do not let anyone tell you that you didn't see, hear, smell, experience, think, believe, or happen. You were there. You were the one living your life. Don't let them gaslight you. Don't let them get under your skin. Don't let them twist your reality. You know what you're doing. You are seeing the results. You are the N. You are the N equals 1. Go. Be your own N. Fuck them. You know? What do they say in the Bible? Let the dead bury the dead. Huh? We're going into the future, guys. We're fucking running into the future. And why are we running into the future? Because we got the bones and the knees and the lungs to be able to do it. Have a great day. Love you.